What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video we are going to talk about Bitcoin and just a couple of market updates that I feel like you need to understand, and why right now is absolutely one of the worst times to be trading right now, and I will give you exactly like what you need to look out for in order to not get confused and get fooled by what these market makers are trying to do. But immediately before we dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _the art of crypto, you're going to want to do so. This is where I'm sharing the latest market updates, stuff that I wouldn't share on YouTube due to time constraints, so make sure you follow me on Twitter. Now, to kick things off, there are a couple of things that I immediately want to draw your attention to, and that is the fact that at the moment it is incredibly choppy right now. Like, the amount of manipulation going on at the markets right now is like bonkers. I would have thought that this would be very close to the bottom, and in fact we did pump like really well. In fact, I was calling to you guys to get some Bitcoin at 40k, right? This was an extremely good move, and just to explain the reason why is because this block right here that I'm going to draw out, right, at 42k, whoops, from 42k to about 38k is going to be an extremely good, in my opinion, good level to buy Bitcoin at, in order to fill a swing, like to build a swing position to, you know, potentially target the previous all-time highs. And regardless of how much FUD there is in the markets right now, and you know, China FUD, just bad negative news and bad negative market sentiment, no matter how much of that there is right now, this was a plan that I was talking about for quite a while already. And oftentimes when it comes to trading, you are going to face a lot of these sort of negative sentiment, and what you have to do is you just have to follow through with your plan, right? Back during this like at this point right here, I was already saying like, hey, if Bitcoin were to retrace back to 41k, 41.4k to 38k ish, I would look to buy heavy around there. And over here at this entire point, I was telling you guys, hey, this wouldn't be a good time to buy, right? The ultimate position would have to be built in this block right here. And at the moment we are in this block. So regardless of, you know, negative FUD or whatever, you have to sort of just follow through with your plan. Otherwise you are trading with emotions, and I am sure all of you understand what happens when you trade with emotions. So at the moment, this 42k level to 38k level remains to be, at least in my opinion, a strong position to hold, right? This would be what you call a demand zone. But otherwise, to me, while a lot of people are already being bearish at the moment, for me, Bitcoin would have to at least break 37k 300 in order for me to even start thinking about bearishness. Because at the moment, you can see that we haven't even retraced back to the 0.618 fib retracement level. And to all of you guys who know anything about fibs, this is going to be a very key level to hold, right? Along with the 705. And in that case, that would come in at about 36,300, which I have already discussed in previous videos. So if you have not already watched that, make sure you watch it. For me, the ultimate level that would prove that we are already bearish would be a break below the 0.786. Honestly, I don't think we're going to get to the 0.786. So if we do break below that, then absolutely, yeah, okay, I might reconsider. Yeah, we're bearish. Ultimately, I know this is not the answer that many of you want to hear, but the only real level that would make us really bearish would be a break below 29k, right? I know that seems like really common sense, but if you just take a look at a weekly chart, right, it takes a while to play out. We have not broken below this swing low back here on the weekly chart, right there. You see, because this candle, the low of this candle was shorter than the two previous candles right next to it, that we have not broken that swing low, by the way. So technically, Bitcoin is still holding, right? It's still holding bullish market structure. And in the event that you do hold bullish market structure, you know, you're supposed to buy pullbacks. And in my opinion, this would be a good block to start building a position to ultimately, I don't know, maybe target there. I'm not sure, but hey, we sort of just have to play by our plan, right? It depends on what the plan is. And the ultimate targets for Bitcoin, at least in my opinion, to finish off the bull market would be somewhere about 77k, 75k to 100k. So that is like the long-term predictions for Bitcoin, and why I still believe that everything that I've said in the last few videos is still holding true. The other thing that I want to bring your attention to before I get into some really juicy important stuff is Bitcoin CME Futures. If you just take a look here, we closed the week off at about 43k. So that leads me to believe that Bitcoin over the weekend is like, during the weekly close tomorrow, it is going to try to reach for 43k. So for those of you who are trying to scalp or day trade, then that's your answer. It's probably going to reach for the 43k. But for everyone else out there, I want to caution you of this little fact, which is to exercise extreme caution until about 24 to 48 hours later. Now, the first reason why is, okay, Bitcoin volatility index is getting close to support, right? Every time it gets close to support, when you bounce, then that's how you get that Bitcoin volatility, right? This thing right here happened because Bitcoin volatility bounced at support. Right now, you are getting close to support. For all we know, it might just go back to 1.9 without doing anything. But if it does get to 1.9, then you absolutely want to watch for, when Bitcoin volatility gets here, then expect something to happen to Bitcoin. Maybe nothing will, but, just a warning. But the real reason why I'm asking you to exercise extreme caution is right now, our sentiment, honestly, is just really, honestly, cautiously bullish, right? You're very cautiously bullish. And that's how I would explain it. That's the best way to explain it. At the moment, you are going through so much manipulation right now, just building a range, and then this is what I mean, right? You build a range, right? You build up liquidity right below here, right above here, and then you take out the low of the range, right? And then now you're probably going to reach for the top of the range, which is somewhere about 43k. So a lot of manipulation going on right now. And if you are playing with heavy leverage, this is going to be a really easy spot for you to get chopped up. So exercise extreme caution. Just go with half positions until two things happen. First is you want to get a weekly close. Preferably, you want to see the weekly close reach for this level at 45k right there. If you do reclaim, right, if you do break above 41 150-ish, then, sorry, 45, about 200, right? If you do break above that level, then that would be very good confirmation for me that bullish trend is back on track. And what is going to happen next after that happens is, let me just draw this bearish order block over here. This is going to be a bearish order block that you want to watch for. So what's going to end up happening is if you do break above this level, right, you might get a pullback. And if you do get a pullback, it's going to come back to here, right? Because over here is like previous resistance. So previous resistance tends to become future support. So you break above, you come pull back into here, right? And assuming that you do get this, I'm just giving an example here, right? Assuming it goes to there, then the 0.5 to 0.618 is going to line up somewhere about here, right? Of course, the 0.618 is going to be ideal, and this is just theoretical, but this is just showing you what is potentially going to happen. And then the next stop is going to be to target the 48k, right? To target 48k. Now, for the bears, right, for the people who say that this is the end for Bitcoin, 48k is going to be a level that you are going to want to hold in order to confirm your bearish ideas. But for the bulls, the first immediate level that you want to reclaim is 45k, right? Once you reclaim 45k, then everything it'll look a bit prettier, right? I'll be much more confident to say that this was the bottom and we are likely to go up. But until that happens, I highly recommend just exercising caution, because there's another thing that I need to bring your attention to, which is the SEC, right? The Asset Management Advisory Committee, right? This is happening tomorrow, and let's just say that maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a couple of announcements that come out of this that might affect the markets. And so if you were a smart investor, as any other smart investor would do, you would stay out, right? You would hold mostly cash during positions of uncertainty and only jump in once trend has re-established itself. In this case, trend would be breaking 45k, that would be bullish trend. And as for bearish trend, you would want to break below 40k, right? You really want to break below 40k 700-ish in order to, establish bearish trend. But at the moment, you can sort of imagine that this level that we are at right now, right? We are sort of just ranging, right? Everything that happens in between this level and this level is just noise. So don't get caught up in the, don't get chopped up here, right? Wait for trend to first establish itself before jumping in. And that is how you are supposed to use news, by the way. Just to tell you, hey, market is really, really uneasy right now. It is very uncertain. So a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines. A lot of people are sitting on cash. So there is no need to force anything. My best tip for you guys watching until this point so far is you never ever have to feel like you have to force a trade, right? Sometimes no position is the best position. And in fact, no position is a position as well, right? Cash is a position as well. You don't have to feel like you need to always be in a trade, because if you were trading the last few days, you would have gotten absolutely chopped up. I'm telling you, chopped up. And if any of you can relate with that, my best tip to you is just chill, right? Just take a chill pill, right? Maybe go hug your girlfriend, maybe go spend some time with family, maybe go take a vacation, anything, do anything, right? Go play games. Just take a chill pill and wait for trend to re-establish itself, and then you can jump in, right? That is the best tip for you guys. right? The reason why I love trading bear markets so much is because for like every month, there is only like 3 days where things are absolutely popping off. And like the rest of the 20, 25, 27 days, almost nothing happens. And when nothing happens, you just have to be comfortable with stepping away, right? Not every day is going to be an ideal trading day. And when you don't get an ideal trading day, you just chill, right? Because in trading, it is very, very different from the concept of, the concept that people have of work, right? When they think of work, they think of, hey, if I work 80 hours a week compared to 40 hours a week, I'm going to get more money because I'm working more. But that's not how it works in trading. In trading, the more trades that you take does not equate to more money, because the more trades that you take equals the more chances of you of getting wrecked. So whenever you get times of uncertainty like this, take a chill pill, all right? You don't have to force anything. Wait for trend to reestablish itself and you can dive right in. And talking about trend, it is going to be absolutely in your trending favor. Actually, that makes no sense, but I'm going to bring up the private Discord group, okay? Now, if you feel like, hey, during times like this and you do not know what you're doing and you're always getting chopped up, you're really going to want to consider the private Discord group. Over here, I'm giving you guys daily and real-time market analysis. I'm going to tell you what coins to look out for. I'm going to tell you what coins are about to pop. I'm going to tell you, hey, how's the markets looking at right now? And so you can make some informed investment decisions. So if you just want to feel like you know what you're doing during times like this and not get caught up in the chop, and I'll tell you when trend reestablishes itself, then consider private Discord group. Not only that, you're going to get access to a trading education that will allow you to learn all the things that work and discard 90% of the things that don't work. Like, we have people coming in here knowing nothing about trading, and right now this is the kind of money that they're making. So pretty much this group is just going to pay itself off real quick, right? As a bonus, you're going to get access to daily profitable trading setups, where I'm calling, profitable trading setups every day. And yeah, it's probably going to pay itself off. So if you're interested, make sure you check out the private Discord group. The link will be in the description. And for those of you who have stuck until this point, you know what's coming. And right now, I'm going to want to talk about Chainlink. So the thing about Chainlink is it's a really odd subject to talk about, because Chainlink has, really been underperforming against, if you compare it to other altcoins during this market. If you talk about like AVAX, right? If I compare it to BTC, obviously that does not look like Chainlink at all. If we talk about maybe Atom, right? It doesn't look like Chainlink at all. It's popping, although just a little bit, but it's still popping, right? And if we talk about, let's say, Solana, absolutely popping off, right? It looks nothing like Chainlink. So right now, I want you to bring your attention to this little pattern right here that I have spotted on the weekly chart. And this is what you call a consolidation pattern, which means that when the time comes, and when the time comes, I mean like within this little time frame right here, within this little block of time, let me just draw it properly, in about 3 months, right? 3 months tops, you are like, Chainlink is going to have to make a decision. Is it going to want to go down, or is it going to want to go up, right? I know 3 months sounds like a long time, but this consolidation pattern that is forming right now, it took way longer than 3 months to form, right? Just for your information, Chainlink has been consolidating for the better part of a year. So when this thing pops, it is going to absolutely pop off, right? It is going to melt some faces. I will make a more detailed Chainlink video in the future, but this is something that you are absolutely going to want to keep an eye out for, right? You're going to want to mark down this level at 6,400 satoshis, right? You're going to want to buy the breakout of that level, right? And by buy the breakout, I mean like as it's breaking out, you want to buy along with the breakout or a bullish retest, right? Both of these work because you can set the stop loss right below that level, right? And so the TPs for this is going to be at 7.1k satoshis, 8k satoshis, 8.6k satoshis, 9.4k satoshis, 10,200 satoshis, 11k satoshis, 12k satoshis, 13k satoshis, and any higher, and I'm going to make another video about this. But for now, absolutely pay attention to Chainlink. It is going to take, in my opinion, maybe a couple more months before this really breaks out. But once this breaks out, oh man, you're going to want to watch Chainlink, right? Absolutely, you're going to want this in your portfolio. For now, just mark down this level and set an alert, right? Just set an alert so that you know what's going on, right? When it happens, then you'll be alerted. For now, it's really just a waiting game, really. But for now, if you're interested to join the private Discord group, I'm gonna see you inside. But for now, may the gains be with you, my friend, and peace.